Good afternoon, traders. It is Tuesday, March 15th, 2016, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Well, yesterday was possibly the most extraordinary day of my trading career. Just have never seen anything like some of the action we saw yesterday. Today was really anticlimactic by comparison. I mean, for example, we got into no positions. We're absolutely flat going into tomorrow. Well, that's anticlimactic, but also, unfortunately, we saw our some of our equity gains pull back quite a bit. I mean, not massively, but uh, to give you a little example of what I'm talking about, yesterday at 4.5 hours into the trading day, I took a screenshot of this and I put it on the website. Our open trade equity at that time was $90,000. This was only this lasted literally maybe a minute or two. There was actually over 90,000, but I did take a screenshot of that and I posted it on the website. Today we got out of everything, and when we got out, we had $54,000. So, hey, a $54,000 day, that's pretty darn good, yeah. But it's quite a retreat from from $90,000. We're looking at about $35,000 pullback there from its high water mark at 4.5 hours in yesterday to where we actually got out. So that was a little bit disappointing. But as I say, I'll take a $54,000 day any day. Let's take a look at the Dow, and then I'll talk a little more about some individual markets or stocks. This was the Dow. I called it up for today. It did end up closing up 22 points, but it was negative most of the day. It started very negative here. It just actually punched down here right on the open. Actually, just got below the last of these four resistance lines I keep talking about, but it bounced off of those, and that's exactly what I would have expected. Again, these four resistance lines now represents the floor for the Dow, and it bounced off the floor, came back up, and actually went a little bit positive to today for today. So I was right in calling the Dow up for today, although I wasn't right by much. I'm going to call it up again tomorrow. I'm looking at this and I see a bull spike down here 4 days ago and another smaller bull spike near the open today, and it's definitely moving higher. So I'm calling the Dow up for tomorrow. Hey, of course, the big trade I want to show you is the GWPH trade, which we actually exited at positive $66,675. It was a positive 70,000 on the close yesterday, and so we gave back, about $3,500 between where it closed yesterday and where we got out today. Still, that's not a bad pullback. It didn't fill its gap. But I want to show you something. This is something that has happened about 3 times to me in the past 5 years. But I was aware of it yesterday, and so I was careful to take a lot of screenshots of GWPH yesterday before it closed. When we had these huge gaps like we had with GWPH, And I mean huge gaps. I mean huge gaps that I may not see more than once every 2 years. It blows a fuse in this old software of mine. And what happened here with GWPH, this was Friday's buy. And then you recall yesterday I'm showing you the charts. It's trading up here the whole day. But when I shut the software down, reopen it, it puts that data that was up here down here, and it shows yesterday's trade is a big loss. Then to add to that madness, this morning it starts trading back up where it should be, and it shows us coming in with a buy here, and then GWPH kind of tailed off, and so it's showing us having an open trade, a loss of about $13,000. Of course, that's all bad data. I'm just showing this to you to explain why I didn't post GWPH this morning and show our profits, is because my software blew a fuse. Now, I have 3 platforms, fortunately, so I had no trouble trading GWPH this morning. As I say, we got out with almost $67,000. But you look over here, I don't like, this is TradeStation 9.5. You can see the buy here on Friday and the exit here this morning. That is how that actually looked like. The exit was, the buy I think was about 35, if I recall, and the exit was about 82. And as I say, that was a $67,000 trade. So that's how the chart is supposed to look. Okay, enough of showing you bad charts. This is just something I have to live with. I don't see it, maybe once every 2 years, but it has happened. I had a huge trade in Netflix about 5 years ago. Did the same thing, and then there was another. I forget the bar, but anyway, this happens unfortunately with this old software. We had, excuse me, this morning when I added everything up, we had $75,000 in winning trades, but we had $20,000 in losing trades. We just had a lot of crappy positions other than the GWPH trade. This was one of them. This is 3D Systems. We bought this yesterday, and just look at this thing. Slams down on the open this morning. This cost us like $5,500. That really, really stung. Yeah, and we had several, not this bad, but this pattern was repeated. So we actually ended up with $20,000 in losing trades that was being subtracted from $75,000 in winning trades this morning. That was kind of tough, and again, it was a big come down from yesterday where everything seemed to be going right. I'll show you the one good. We had one good solid trade today. This is JDST, which is our gold bear stock. It's going to go up when gold and minerals go down. This was actually a re-entry trade yesterday. Didn't look like too much, but it popped up very nicely this morning. We got out of there. That was a good place to get out because you can see how this thing descended after that. And we took $4,500 out of that. That was a very nice trade. But unfortunately, other than the GWPH trade, which was of course a monster, we didn't have much else going for us this morning. So anticlimactic, but hey, as I say, we'll take a $55,000 trade any day. This is Trader Bob signing off. I'll be back here online on Wednesday.